Hey everybody, it's Jacob, normally from the podcast, and I usually have my bestest friend next to me, but today I wanted to talk about something that has been important to me for a very long time and really just rubs me the wrong way now. I woke up this morning to information about Magic's 30th year anniversary, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about the card game Magic the Gathering. I've been playing this game for years, as long as I could remember. I've met amazing friends, and I've had amazing experiences because of it. It's helped me move to and from states. You know, it's a crazy, huge card game, and with that comes a lot of collectability and financial issues. Magic has been exploding the last couple years, which has been awesome. You know, it's cool to see younger and younger generations really get into the spirit of it and want to learn how to play it, you know, and it's not such a taboo thing anymore like it was when I was a kid and you were getting beat up by actual bullies, you know what I mean? Now the bullies will play with you. It's pretty cool. But the biggest problem with it, and the reason why I stopped playing, was because this game has just become way too expensive. There are different ways to play this game. You have your tried and true standard, standard format is all the new recent sets, and then you have modern, and then when you're a real big spender, you've got legacy, and even commander. Commander's a fun, 1v1, 4 players, whatever, casual format. But if you look at the recent spikes in these formats, I'm honestly shocked that people are still playing it, if I'm being honest with you. So you look at other games like Pokemon that have been around for about the same time, and they have their chase cards. You have people all the time opening crazy couple $100, $1,000 cards. You have the old cards from, sets from 93, 94, I think it is, or 95, 96, whatever. And yeah, you could pull that Charizard or, and go crazy and, all that stuff. But the game itself, to pick it up and play, is probably the cheapest out of any of your options, whether it be Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, etc., etc. But when you look at modern or legacy for Magic, I mean, you're showing a average price of, anywhere from $500 to almost $1,200 for these decks to play. That these are decks that win. If you want to win, hey kid, you want to win your next event, that'll be $1,200, please. I mean, it's crazy. And then you look at things like Legacy, where you have starting, I mean, you're looking at $2,000, $3,000, sometimes almost $5,000 to play this game. And it could be a little daunting. It stops a lot of people, such as myself, from wanting to play anymore. I'm an adult. I have rent. I have bills. I have a life, and I can't just put all my money into this game like I used to. And so you think to yourself, what is the next best thing that you could possibly do? And in my opinion, that's where proxies come in. Now, proxies are just, there's millions of different forms of it. You could, you can go as basic as just scribbling a card name on a basic land, or when the new Zendikar set came out, you had your your flip cards that you could write on, and then there were people who offered it as a service. They would print out proxies, and they would, about whether it be Black Lotuses or dual lands, just stuff that the average person can't just go and pay for only $1. Here you go. And it was pretty sweet, because a lot of people, most people in this game, are not playing for any kind of competitive anything. We're not going to GP Vegas, we're not going international, we're not doing any of that kind of stuff. We just want to play with the best possible cards that we absolutely can. God. And we want it at an affordable price. That's the biggest thing. I want to be able to play with my friends, but I don't want to be bullied into losing consistently because I have a friend that can afford this game more than I could. So proxies were always an option. Today, the Magic the Gathering YouTube channel released it's like a weekly MTG thing. They talk about all the new sets going on. It's like E3 for video games. You talk about the newest releases, you hype some things up, maybe you give a couple little teasers, and everyone gets excited. and we started talking about the 30th anniversary of Magic the Gathering. This game has been around longer than I've been alive. So 30 years is a pretty big deal, you know?
We have so much going on the 30th anniversary, including this next one, which I don't even know how to start to describe it. But we're gonna talk about it now.
Immediately, I'm like, what could this possibly be? Are we going to get rid of the reserve list, or like something crazy that's never gonna happen? A man can dream, but what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna have to figure out how to start to describe it, because we're gonna introduce you to 30th Anniversary Edition. To celebrate 30 years of Magic the Gathering, we knew we had to go big.
Go big? I mean, what could that possibly mean? I mean, are we talking better reprints? Are we talking that we're gonna finally start putting fetch lands in Commander precons? Are they gonna make them more accessible? What are you gonna do for your fan base?
Just how big did we go?
So big. That's how big.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we had to do something really, really special.
If you want to edge nerds to oblivion, like I'm about to pop right now, it's so big. It's so crazy. You have no idea how insane this is going to be. When we tell you what we're going to do for you, you are going to explode out of your chair from busting way too hard.
We put together a product that is worthy of reflecting 30 years of Magic, that's inspired by those first years of Magic and really evokes the feelings, of those first times of Magic. And we made this collectible, commemorative, mind-blowing, amazing new product, 30th Anniversary Edition.
Okay.
So 30th Anniversary Edition is a commemorative, collectible, non-tournament legal product.
So I'm not going to lie, when I heard non-tournament legal, this immediately sounds like they've done these products in the past. That in the early 90s, early 2000s, I think it was, you had championship decks that were proxies of whatever the top, I think it's like the top 4 players were playing in Worlds that year. And those were non-tournament legal. So I think that alone, you kind of get the gist of where they're going with this, where non-tournament legal makes me instantly think of proxies. It makes me think of, hey, that Black Lotus you scribbled on a basic mountain, same principle.
And we took inspiration from the limited edition beta, and we created something new that lets fans and collectors really experience some of the most iconic elements of Magic's early years. It is a package that has 4 packs of cards.
Okay.
Each of those cards has a special commemorative back. Looks a little like this.
Okay.
As this video progresses, I'm getting more and more bummed out because we're seeing a box of 4 booster packs. And for those of you who don't know, the reason why this worries me is in recent years, we've had what's called collector boosters, where it's less product, more money.
But Jacob, they're all foil and you can make a shit ton of money. I don't think you, remember that, now did you?
I actually did. But the problem with that is 2 things. These products instill fear of missing out, or FOMO, and 2, you can absolutely whiff. Many times have I seen friends, and myself included, walk into their local card shop and say, give me 2 packs of this ridiculous set.
Of course, stupid idiot Jacob, that'll be $160.
For 2 booster packs. And what do I get? Absolutely nothing. So when you see a product like this from Wizards of the Coast, from Magic the Gathering, it looks cool. It's got the 30-year anniversary on it. It's got 4 booster packs.
So the fronts are new, modern takes, but with the classic art that you can love and remember for Magic's very first release. So that means you can get cards like a 30th Anniversary Edition Black Lotus.
Oh my God, shut it down right now. You're telling me that we can get a Black Lotus in a booster pack? What is it, 1993? What's going on here?
Oh yes. Or Ancestral Recall.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. So like the guy in the Ancestral Recall art, that's a bit mind-blowing.
You said it here first, my man. I am unequivocally shook. Look how cool that is. These are cards that are older than me, and I have never once been able to have one, ever. You're talking like $5,000, and you're telling me that I could just waltz on into my local game store and say, give me one of those super cool packs. I'm going to open it, and I've got a holy grail in my hand. Yeah, maybe it's not tournament legal, but man, how cool is that? That is the sickest thing I've ever seen. I gotta ask, how much is it? $999. They're seriously selling us proxies made by Wizards of the Coast, by Magic the Gathering. Proxies. You can't use them in tournaments. Proxies can only be used if your playgroup's okay with using them, if your game store's okay with allowing you to have them in their tournaments. They are proxies, and they are $999. 4 booster packs. 15 cards in the booster packs. I better get a gold bar in one of these booster packs for $1,000. This is the biggest slap in the face that I've ever experienced with something that is near and dear to my heart like this card game is. And I don't know if you knew this, but it is easier than ever to make proxies now that look really good. If we look at npcfillguide.com is a step-by-step instruction on how to make MTG proxies that look really good, and they give you whatever back that you want, and it doesn't cost that much money at all. If you scroll down the website, you could see that they'll walk you through it. They will walk you through it. They will say, hey buddy, does that Black Lotus suck in price? Don't you wish you could really have one for that super awesome vintage cube that you're making so that you and your 5 buddies can just drink beers and play Magic like the good old days? Well, here's how you do it. And you know what, buddy? It's gonna cost you less than $1 a card. Who's out there like, no thanks. No thanks. I'm just gonna go give WOTC all my money because I don't like proxies, because I don't like the fact that they look real enough to be sold. Okay, look, you can keep your scumbag ways all you want, but me, I'm gonna go to WOTC because they've never, ever done me wrong. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Jacob, this website just gives you the template. It doesn't print them out for you. This is just a file. So you're going to have a file of a bunch of cool cards that you want that you don't have to pay a bunch of money for. So checkmate, nerd. What are you going to do about that? I am so glad you asked. Did you also know that there's websites that are just dedicated to making playing cards? MakePlayingCards.com is one example of, I'm sure, hundreds that you can add your own designs to whatever you want. You can add pictures if you want. Would you love to make an adorable vintage cube that has all the Power 9, all the good cards from Magic's history, but you have you and your wife on the card back because you're adorable as fuck? Well, my friend, you absolutely can. And it's a lot easier and a lot more cost effective than throwing your money away for proxy, non-tournament legal, straight off the press from Magic the Gathering cards. It is almost embarrassing to say how much I love this game. It is very embarrassing to see what this game has done when it comes to being a 100% cash grab. They have become the masters of fear of missing out syndrome, and they will make you pay whatever they want you to get things.
You mentioned packs. What's in a pack?
Each pack contains 15 cards. There are 13 cards in the modern frame, 1 rare, 3 uncommons, 7 commons, and 2 basic lands.
Okay.
And then there are 2 retro frame cards, 1 basic land, and then 1 common, uncommon, or rare. And then there's a token.
Wow! You're telling me that for $250? $250 per booster pack? I have the pleasure of getting a token and 2 basic lands? That sucks. That sucks all the way around. You are throwing me chaff for $250.
Oh, but Jacob, some tokens are worth like $5. Do you remember the Fairy Rogue token?
I do not care. This is the most expensive Magic product that I have seen in today's age for what it is. There should be no basic lands in these booster packs. There should be no tokens in these booster packs. You are filling up spots that most people can respectively just throw away and not think twice about it.
Correct. They're not term illegal. They have a different back. But one of the real cool things about it is when you open it up, like just opening up and seeing that art that you remember from back in the day it's just very nostalgic. It's very exciting.
No, it's not. Look, I know there's people who have been playing this game since day one. I understand that nostalgia can be very distracting sometimes. And you might be thinking to yourself that, yes, it would be cool to see this old artwork again and to reminisce about it like you were a kid and, all that stuff. But there's still cheaper options. Of course, no one wants to pay for the $3,200 form of this card that, by today's standards, is not even that good. But you don't even have to pay up to $1,000 to maybe get one either. A revised version of this card, so a card that was printed a little bit after alpha and beta, is only going to run you $6.67 through tcgplayer.com. You want to feel nostalgia? That card's pretty old. Go pick that up, man. You are wasting your money getting excited at the thought of this idea. It's a big party that you're not invited to, kid. Hey, 10-year-old Timmy, did you want to go buy a pack of this? Sucks to suck, little boy. Go tell your parents that you need $250 for a booster pack. And even if they give it to you, hey, maybe your local game store will have one, right? Oh, whoa! Oh my God. Did you hear that, everybody? Did you hear that? My local game store is going to get one of these packs. Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear? They're going to get one. Just one. Oh, premiums. Premium WPN stores will get a little more. That's awesome. This is not okay. In my heart of hearts, this is the worst news I've ever heard about this game. It is so disappointing to know that this is what's happening. I will not even begin to fathom how expensive that one copy your local game store is going to get. How much is that going to be? How much is a Black Lotus going to be? You can't play it. You can't live out your dreams and go to a vintage tournament and play it. You can't. It looks different on the back. So for $999, you have the luxury of getting 4 booster packs with non-tournament legal Magic cards from Magic's history, and you still may not even get what you want.
It is possible that you can open up 2 Black Lotuses.
Well, Mark, it's also possible for me to win the lottery twice in my lifetime. Just because you're saying sizzle words about cards you could potentially get does not make the product more appealing to your diehard fan base. You're telling me that I could get 2 Lotuses, or I could get no Lotuses. I could get no Power 9. I could get no dual lands. But to soullessly sell your loyal fan base 4 booster packs of non-tournament legal cards that you might get something awesome, or in all honesty, you might not, for $1,000. It's just not cool, man. Do I think this set needs to be $10 a booster pack? Absolutely not. I understand that this is pure nostalgia for people. I understand that it would be really cool. It's a lottery card. That's what this game is. This game is a lottery that you have fun to play. I'll even give them the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what? $100 a booster pack. And make them booster packs. Don't make them one-off that your local game store in Nowheresville is going to get 1 copy of, because you'll never see it. I am assuming you're going to look on eBay and you're going to find marked up prices, which always happens. All in all, I'm just really disappointed with this product, and I'm worried about where this game is going, because it seems like instead of the fun, casual format that I grew up playing, it has become a money grab for investors who were just ahead of the game before any of us or cared more than we did. I think Magic the Gathering has a lot of improvements to make, and I genuinely think that Magic the Gathering needs to be ashamed of themselves, and hopefully this doesn't become a pattern. Welcome to the year 2022. A 3-bedroom home is $500,000, and if you want to play Magic, you're going to have to take out a second mortgage on the house. that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to my rant. I was just full of nerd rage today and I needed to let it out. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Me and Christian appreciate you guys more than you know, and we will see you on Friday for another episode. Peace out. Wow!